Do you ever wonder why certain movies are simply a disaster? Are they truly garbage? Or perhaps they are misunderstood?
Welcome to the main course of cinematic catastrophe that is Le Crap, with your gourmet, Chef Bri and Chef Gio.
Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of Lake Crap. My name is Bri.
And my name is Gio.
And as we alluded to last week, we are covering 1994's North, directed by Rob Reiner. And I just wanted to start off the bat and say we're not going to discuss the ongoing investigation because we don't know all the facts. There's different extenuating circumstances, and we're not a true crime podcast. We're not experts on law or criminal law. We're just not qualified to talk about this. We are a fun, lighthearted podcast. So if you're expecting like some kind of breakdown, I'm sorry, this is not the show for you.
Yeah, I figured it would be more fitting instead of talking about the unfortunate circumstances of him and his wife's passing, and instead just open up and talk about his life and just show that even the most accomplished creators can come up with the occasional dud. So, who exactly was Rob Reiner? He was born on March 6th, 1947. His parents were both actors, and he was in acting from a very young age. His first ever role was at age 14 on the TV series Manhunt. He would appear in several small roles in several shows through the 60s, eventually breaking through with his portrayal of Meathead in the 70s sitcom All in the Family, a performance that won him a pair of Emmys. His directorial debut was in 1984 with the mockumentary This Is Spinal Tap, which is considered by many to be one of the greatest comedies of all time. And through the 80s and 90s, he directed several critically acclaimed films, many of which you've probably heard of, that were all in different genres, might I add, and they would become staples of those respective genres. These would include the 1986 coming-of-age film Stand By Me, the 1987 romantic adventure film The Princess Bride, the 1989 rom-com When Harry Met Sally, the 1990 psychological thriller Misery, and the 1992 military courtroom drama A Few Good Men.
Like, really, Rob Reiner, it's crazy. Like, most people talk, Spielberg, Scorsese, which, don't get me wrong, they're all very accomplished, but I don't think anyone had quite an all-time run of, really a solid decade like Rob Reiner.
I mean, to open up your career with 7 absolute hits, most of which are still firmly in the public conscious. I mean, can you think of a more iconic movie than The Princess Bride? Or a more iconic unhinged performance like you would see from Kathy Bates in Misery? Or the iconic line of "You can't handle the truth" from A Few Good Men. And it's when you realize that these were all directed by the same guy, it's not just the fact that they were all bangers, it's the fact that they were all in different genres. It's there wasn't a genre that this guy wasn't good at, which is insane to me.
Yeah, truly. There's a lot of good directors, but they each kind of have their reach. But even Spielberg, he's done a few things, but, he's mostly known as, a sci-fi guy. And then you have Scorsese, who's mostly does, the mob and, based on true event stuff. Or then you have, Quentin Tarantino, who has his very own distinct style. Not saying there's a lazy or wrong, but just the versatility of Rob Reiner. I feel I'm sure people discussed it, but I don't think it was his forefront in the public consciousness until after his passing. To go wow, holy shit, this guy was really diverse and really talented.
Yeah, and it wasn't just the movies that he was directing. It was stuff that his production company of Castle Rock Entertainment was putting out. I mean, this is the production company that put out Seinfeld and also made films like The Shawshank Redemption. I mean, when you think of so many iconic movies and TV shows that came out during the 80s and 90s, Rob Reiner had his hand in a lot of them.
or even in more contemporary stuff, for better or worse, Stranger Things would not exist if it was not for Stand By Me.
I mean, heck, Stand By Me is referenced in the opening to the original Pokemon games. I mean, it's playing on the TV when your player character is leaving his house. I mean, that's just how influential that movie is. Again, these were his first 7 movies that he directed. All of them critically acclaimed, most of them very well still firmly in the public consciousness. Just the versatility and just the consistency in those first 7 films is just something like that I've never seen before. His 8th, on the other hand, is the reason we're here.
Oh boy. Yeah, I've casually heard of North in passing, and other channels, I think, have reviewed it because it is such an interesting little disaster. Like, everything on paper should work, but the final product absolutely does not.
I mean, here you've got a 1994 comedy adventure based on a 1984 book made by, up to this point, a critically acclaimed director starring an all-timer of a cast. What could have gone wrong? Well, let's start with the premise. The premise of North is that it's about a boy who, quote-unquote, divorces himself from his parents and travels around the world searching for new ones. And when I say that this movie has an absolute insane cast, let's start with North himself, played by a guy you might have heard of by the name of Elijah Wood. Yeah, he's been in a few things, I would think.
Yeah.
But it's not just him. I mean, you look down the list and it's like Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Jason Alexander, Bruce Willis, John Lovitz, Dan Aykroyd, Kathy Bates, Reba McEntire. And as you would notice, it's a lot of people that Rob Reiner worked with in the past. And here's another insane fact about this movie. It also marked the first on-screen appearance of a 9-year-old by the name of Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, gee, I wonder whatever happened to her.
World may never know. But I mean, you just look at this cast and you look at Rob Reiner's work up to this point, and then you see that this movie has wound up on several worst of all time lists, and you're thinking, what exactly happened here? Everything going into it, this should have been a hit, and it just wasn't.
Like, this film is inconceivably bad. I'm sorry, I had to do it.
You just look, this movie, you start off with the box office. It had a $40 million budget, and it only made $12 million back. And critics, they ripped this thing to shreds. Said that it had a mean-spirited story, that the humor was lacking, and so many of them were just dumbfounded that somebody with Rob Reiner's track record up to this point could have directed something this terrible. One of those critics was another guy you may have heard of by the name of Roger Ebert. His review of North is the stuff of legends.
It is an all-timer. Like, when you see the word banger in the dictionary, noun, that review is right next to it.
Like, in his review, he thought that this movie had to have been like a lapse on Reiner's part, and he gave it the very, very rare 0-star rating. And to quote his review, I hated this movie. Hated this movie.
When it came time to write my newspaper review of this movie, I don't know, something just came over me. My fingers on the keyboard had little minds of their own. I was rolling along, writing my usual scathing but civilized comments when suddenly a sinister inner force took over and I found myself typing, and I quote, I hated this movie. Hated this movie. Hated it. Hated every simpering, stupid, vacant, audience-insulting moment of it, unquote, and so on. Altogether, I used the word hated 10 times. I have to give North credit for one thing, though. When I was preparing for this show, I didn't have to spend a lot of time trying to figure out which was the year's worst movie, so it saved me time.
Words that would follow after for a long, long time. I mean, the author of the book that North was based off of, Alan Zweibel, those words would pretty much haunt him forever. I mean, think about it from his perspective. I mean, this was based on a 1984 book that he had based on his own son. Like, the character of North was based on his own son.
Oh, God. But it's actually incredible. Like, everything you read about this in the background seems like perfect quintessential, like, 90s kids movie, and it just isn't. Like, oh my god. But, like, here's another reason why I love Rob Reiner. He knew this thing was a piece of shit, and he took it in spades.
Well, what's interesting is that when it first came out, he was actually, like, defending it against the criticism. I mean, I guess that changed over the years, but, like, when it initially came out and was, like, getting ripped to shreds, he pretty much said, it's just a little fable. Am I not allowed to make a little fable? Like, he made the argument that, not every movie he's going to make is going to be, like, a Misery or a Few Good Men. Which, yeah, fair enough, but when you see the reviews of the final product, I don't know how you can say that it's just a little fable.
Well, I think with every creator, I mean, when I was first starting out, like, whenever you get, like, the slightest bit of criticism and everyone's like, wow, your work's amazing, like, it fucking hurts. It takes a little bit of adjustment, but I think what makes a great creator is be like, okay, just having a little bit of humble pie. But, oh my god, like, his reenactment of Roger Ebert's review of North, I think it was for, like, some, like, comedy roast, I forget exactly what it was. Just the way he, like, dictates every version of the word hate, it's magical.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I mean, it does take a bigger person to take that kind of criticism in stride and acknowledge, yeah, this wasn't very good. I mean, I think back to when that Halle Berry Catwoman movie came out.
Oh my god.
And she went to the Razzies and accepted the award herself and was like, thanks for putting me in this piece of shit movie. It really helped my career. But yeah, just the things I've heard about this. It's like you see his previous body of work and you're like, how do we go so drastically from something like Princess Bride or Misery to this? I mean, keep this in mind. This movie only came out 2 years after A Few Good Men and 4 years after Misery. Like, how exactly was it this big of a misfire?
And you know what, like, the weird thing is? I wonder, like, obviously in, like, some online circles, like, I, like, vaguely knew about it because I'm a goddamn film nerd and I've heard it from, like, other, like, friends and colleagues, like, how bad this movie is. But I almost kind of wonder, since, again, this movie did come out in 1994, that a certain Disney movie kind of made a lot of people forget that this existed.
Yeah, no, but I go back to, I think I've quoted Doug Walker on this before, with him saying that, like, the hardest thing to review is a bad comedy, because, like, there's only so many ways you could say that's not funny. And, like, think of it like this. If you're seeing a bad drama or a bad horror movie or a bad action movie, at least you can laugh at it. But with a comedy, the whole point is that it's trying to make you laugh. And if it's failing at that, then you're basically just staring at the screen while things are happening.
Well, we're going to try to make some laughter, because I am kind of scared. I have no idea what I'm walking into, to be honest.
I really don't either. Like, I remember that Nostalgia Critic reviewed it. I just barely remember anything of it.
Well, let's find out. So, as always, rules of the podcast. Gio and I are going to watch this film, I guess. We'll play some little trailer blip 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 bloop bloop bloop. And then when we come back, we'll give you our thoughts.
The one thing that we cannot control in this life is who our parents are. You dealt the hand, you're stuck with it.
Pants, that's what I know. I know pants. All kinds of pants. All kinds of pants.
Better day, let me tell you something. Mom!
It's not like baseball, where if you don't like the deal you have with one team, you can become a free agent and try to get a better deal with another team.
Free agency.
If you want my advice, go home, make up, and goodbye.
What a scoop! I keep becoming a free agent, then going around offering his services as a devoted son to the highest bidding set of parents. I'm proud of you, kid. You got a lawyer?
Let's get cracking.
If he is not physically in the arms of either his new parents or his original parents by noon on Labor Day, he will be remanded to an orphanage. And if any of you has ever seen the Little Rascals, you know that's no day at the beach.
I know what you're thinking. Big car, right? Everything I own's the biggest and the best. That's why we'd like you to become our son.
Here you go, North. Nice cup of hot cocoa. And to go with that, our state dish, Eskimo pie.
Well, hey, what do you know? The salmon are running.
Just because you were born 25 years before me doesn't make you smart. It doesn't make you right. It just makes you old.
Aren't I naughty?
It just makes you smell worse in the morning.
You realize North will never pull this off.
He's North. He can do anything.
These folks are gonna fight it.
Of course they are. They're not going to take this lying down.
Hang in there, kid. You'll find what you're looking for.
Hey, it's you.
Trust me, I'm not me.
What are you? Some kind of guardian angel?
An Easter bunny.
Fuck this movie. Oh my
Fuck it.
fucking god.
Hard. Oh my god.
You know, we had like a serious debate while watching this, going back and forth. We were like, is this really worse than Return to Zombie Island? Oh my god, Return to Zombie Island looks like Gone with the fucking Wind compared to this.
When we first had that conversation, I was like, I'll say that this is the worst movie ever made by people who are talented. And then the last 2 minutes happened. And yeah, I'm gonna say it. This is the worst one yet.
Like, bar none. Like, I wish when we did the tier, we had watched this before then, because we would make a new bottom tier below Long John Shitters. The tier would just be called North.
This had to have been the most insufferable, unfunny, mean-spirited, crass, idiotic thing I have ever had the misfortune of watching. And I just had to keep stopping and reminding myself that the director, the writer, well, one of the writers, and all these actors have done so much better. And you just have to sit there and wonder, how? Rob, buddy, we love ya. What were you thinking?
I mean, I don't think you could call this anything but a disaster. Like, it is actually incredible that every choice that it makes is the wrong one. And you know what? Like, from a filmmaking perspective, like, it looks fine. It's not something like Orgy of the Dead where it's, like, technically wrong, but every other choice is so utterly, horribly wrong.
I am just shocked. We were 2 years removed from A Few Good Men. How do we go from that to this? Bear in mind, again, this is the same man who brought us When Harry Met Sally, the movie that redefined rom-coms. This is the same man whose studio brought Seinfeld, the sitcom. This is a man who knows what humor is. You wouldn't have been able to tell watching this. I did not laugh. Not even a hearty little chuckle at any of the quote-unquote jokes this movie tried to make. This was painful.
Yeah, I think you had equated this as the definition of anti-humor.
Oh yeah. I wasn't even sure what that term really meant before watching this. This was just ungodly miserable. Every other bad movie that we've watched for this show, we could at least point and have a hearty little chuckle at something. It probably wasn't intentional, but we could at least laugh a little bit. Not here.
Yeah, there was like one thing with the Amish that the most I did was like huh.
And there was like a tiny little moment at the beginning where Bruce Willis shows up in a bunny suit where I kind of chuckled a little bit.
What did I do wrong?
Oh god, no.
Oh no. What the fuck? No, pause it. No, I refuse. No.
I heard that he's Easter Bunny. Oh, by the way, I think I looked up. Bruce Willis plays multiple roles in this movie.
God almighty. But not in anything this movie was trying. I just don't know how this could have happened. We've already gone great lengths talking about Rob Reiner, but the co-writer of this, who also wrote the original book this was based off, Alan Zweibel, we were going over his career.
Yeah, like, this is the dude who wrote The Samurai for John Belushi and Rosanna Dana. You know, this bro, like, made Gilda Radner an icon. He worked on the It's Gary Shandling show.
He did an episode of Monk. Monk is inarguably in my top 5, like, favorite TV series of all time. I adore that show so much. But this guy has worked on some really good things. Pretty much everybody here has done so much better. And you put it all together and somehow wind up with something this joyless. And I'm running out of adjectives. That's how bad this is.
Like, you gotta start asking the questions of, like, at what point did this turn into, like, a monstrosity? Because, like, everything about this is, like, bad. Like, even the kid performers, like, oh my god, some of the kids is, like, so annoying, and you could tell this was written by adults. All the dialogue feels so stilted.
Oh my lord. Like,
ironically, the only one who sounded natural was Ben Stein.
That is truly sad. That is truly sad. Like, you talk a lot about Has-Been Hotel. We talk about how so many of the characters sound exactly the same in how they talk. Has-Been Hotel is a fucking Fire Emblem game compared to this.
Oh yeah, you know, and I don't even, like, hate Has-Been Hotel. Not like this. I'm just like, okay, it's kind of, like, goofy ass, and, like, maybe hasn't cooked 100%. Like, I honestly feel like I need to watch the first 2 seasons of Has-Been Hotel, like, back to back, just to cleanse myself of this. At least to have some good music.
You can absolutely tell how the writers of this movie talk, because every single character in this movie, including the kids, all talk the exact same way. I get they're going for a more, like, whimsy ha-ha kind of tone, but children do not talk like this, especially the main villain kid.
Oh god, I fucking hate that kid.
Oh
like,
my god, he was
I have never wanted to punch a child so much in my life.
It's like, this was a child version of Eddie Redmayne's performance in Jupiter Ascending. Like, complete with, at one point, he just has a giant, like, yelling outburst.
I can only assume that you think this is blood, Al. And if I had an IQ below 24, I suppose I might think the same. But the stain in this cap comes from borscht.
Borscht?
Yes, borscht. A beef-based soup, Russian in origin, most frequently served chilled with a dollop of sour cream.
I make a good borscht.
And I'd love to sample it someday. But the point I'm making here, Al, is that unless North's head was filled with this traditional Slavic delicacy, he's not dead, you idiot!
Oh, no!
Oh, God.
Now, Arthur.
This delivery. I'm sure this kid is, like,
And
grew up to
and
be
now
nice.
now we're hitting on the Jupiter Ascending with the fucking scream dialogue, huh? We talked, and I came to the conclusion that this contains some of the worst parts of past movies we've done. We got bad acting a la Jupiter Ascending. We got random cameo from a penguin, like in Tiny Town. So many of the worst parts of the worst movies that we've seen are present here.
And you know what the worst part is? The worst part is that from, like, the overly long, like, I swear to God, almost 5-minute intro where they have the little iconography, I was able to predict almost beat for beat what was gonna happen. Like, yeah, I know it's a kid's movie, and, you know, I'm a grown-ass adult, so I'm like, yeah, I can use my college-educated brain to figure shit out, but still.
You can't even call this a kid's movie. You cannot even call this a kid's movie, because there are some, again, quote-unquote, jokes in this. I phrased it this way while we were watching. You know how most kids' movies will have, like, 1 or 2 jokes that are meant to fly over their heads and are more meant for the parents? Imagine that, but an entire movie. That's this movie.
Yeah, and none of the jokes are good.
No, I said it before. This is anti-humor. Oh my god. Like, there are guns in this movie. There's blood in this movie. There's cursing in this movie. Elijah Wood is supposed to be what, like 12 years old, and he calls the villain kid an asshole near the end? And then Bruce Willis at the end.
Oh god, the balls joke.
Yes, he makes a joke about, yeah, you can't go to Miami in August. Your balls will get stuck to your legs. It's like, how is this a PG-rated movie? How?
Well, I mean, this was back when PG actually meant something. But still, to kind of get back with, like, the swearing, I'm like, yeah, like, 12-year-old kids probably swear, but it's like, these didn't feel like children. Like, the delivery, and I feel bad. I mean, most of these kids are adults now. Oh, well, I mean, they're all adults now, but the delivery of, like, the dialogue, it almost felt like it was AI generated. Like, people shat on Jake Lloyd in The Phantom Menace. Oh my god, he gave an Oscar-winning performance compared to some of this. Holy crap.
Oh, it just insufferable across the board. Again, especially the main villain kid. This kid was just beyond annoying, beyond just punchable. And I feel like we're just going to keep getting sidetracked. I think we need to talk about this movie's, what it calls a plot.
Yeah, because, and for those of you who have seen North, you know, but for the uninitiated, oh boy. Let's start. What is North about, Gio?
So, as I alluded to in the intro, North is about a kid who feels unappreciated by his parents, and so decides to just go find new ones. The truth is so much worse. So much worse.
Oh, we'll get to that. We will get to that.
So, we are introduced to North, and right off the bat, you realize this kid is a total Gary Stu. Just every single adult that comes across him is just like, oh, North, you are so wonderful. You are so talented. Like, he's the star of the baseball team. He's the star of the drama club. He's the star of the science club. He is just perfect and good at everything. And every parent openly wishes their kid was just like North. Every parent except for his own, apparently. Now, you're led to believe that his parents are so inattentive. Think Timmy Turner's parents times 10. But all we really get is that they bicker a little bit in the beginning. And that's enough for North to have a fucking heart attack and decides, you know what, my parents don't appreciate me. I'm going to go somewhere else. And, oh, by the way, we mentioned before how this movie takes so many of the worst parts of some other movies we've seen. The opening bickering between North's parents, who, by the way, they're played by Jason Alexander and Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Yes.
So it's literally just Seinfeld. The argument that they're having and the way they're talking, it's just speed running all the dialogue and jokes from the Hebrew Hammer. Just beat boom, 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 boom.
You want to know how to build a rocket and send a man into outer space? Don't come to me.
Don't even ask me about it.
For someone to perform a delicate brain operation, I'm not your man.
I don't want to talk about it.
If, on the other hand, you have any questions whatsoever regarding the quality of a fine pair of pants, look
Just
no
thinking
further.
about it, I'm getting a
Pants, that's what I know. I know pants, all kinds of pants.
I had a day. Let me tell you something.
So then he says to me, oh yeah, what about chinos?
Stuff as it was for those Hebrew slaves in ancient
I said,
Egypt.
chinos, yeah, I know chinos.
Those slaves were in Disneyland compared to working in a travel
Then ask me
agency.
about jeans. Please, I grew up on jeans.
You know, I'm sure being whipped while you're building a pyramid is no
Then he
bargain.
brings up overalls.
I already don't like this dialogue. I already don't like this. Is this kid having a panic attack or is...
singing, and I know pants.
North was positive he was having a coronary.
I said, do you know who I am?
Wait, whoa, no, rewind that.
Okay, hold on. Wait,
what the hell was that?
For those Hebrew slaves in ancient Egypt.
Chinos, yeah,
okay, hold on.
Those slaves were in Disneyland compared to working in a travel
Then
agency.
ask me about jeans. Please, I grew up on jeans.
You know, I'm sure being whipped while you're building a pyramid is no
Then he brings
bargain.
up overalls. Now he's insulting me.
But those slaves didn't have to book the Himmelmans non-stop to
I said,
Boca
listen,
during
Einstein
the
knew
Easter season.
arithmetic, Pavarotti knows singing.
Is he
and I
like
know
choking or is he
pants.
having a
North
panic
was
attack?
positive he was having a coronary.
Oh, thanks, Bruce Willis.
Oh, thank you for telling us. Oh, God.
Don't experience cardiac events.
Yeah, it's every stereotype, and I swear to Christ, it sounds like if you've ever taken an acting class, like, you're doing, like, the monologue, like, that first class where you're, like, standing on stage and you're, like, really doing, like, a monologue for a first time, like, this is your first time reading the script. That is what this felt like. It just felt so stilted and so unnatural. And which, by the way, this is just my own personal experience. I kind of hated doing monologues. Like, that's just me. I like a scene partner. But anyway, just everything about this. And, like, they're not even, like, bickering, like, that hard. Like, they're just having a conversation at dinner. And I'm sorry, North is just being a little self-centered asshole.
Well, I guess that's what happens when pretty much every other adult in his life has told him that he's literally God himself. So, because his parents bickered a little bit at dinner and didn't pay attention to him and, like, dropped to their knees and worship him for, like, 2 seconds, well, that's making North all sad. His grades are slipping, his performance in drama club and sports is dropping, so he goes to his favorite spot and takes like 200 years to get to it. So he goes to the local mall, sits down in his favorite recliner, and this is where we first meet one of the many incarnations of Bruce Willis. Here he's the Easter Bunny, and can I just say, he looks so like unhappy to be here.
He's just like, oh my god. He was acting like rent was due, and he's like, oh shit, well, I guess I'll do this.
So he talks to North, and North is like, yeah, my parents don't appreciate me. Now everything's slipping. I hit my coach's wife with a baseball, which you think that would have been a bigger deal, but trust me, there is nothing believable at all in this movie. So Bruce Willis, number one, makes the suggestion of, hey, you know how in sports, like there's free agency and you can just go to another team if you're unhappy? Well, give it some food for thought. So North takes it up with his supposed friend, and oh my god, just this kid does not talk like how kids talk. None of the kids in this movie do, but him especially. Like, he is like every, you know, whenever a movie has like a sleazeball New Yorker as their villain, that's this kid. Just the pinnacle of annoying, snarky, sleazy. He puts North in contact with his lawyer, and Saul Goodman, this guy isn't.
Nope.
I'm proud of you, kid. You got a lawyer? Why? Do I need one? North, this is America. Everyone needs a lawyer. Lucky for you, I happen to know the best. Name's Arthur Belt. He's done some work for me, pro bono. Let's move it!
Oh my god, fuck.
Don't worry, he'll find you. Come on! We got a paper to get out!
Like, this isn't cute. This is just fucking annoying. I'm sorry.
No, agreed. Please tell me it's Bruce Willis again.
Hello, North. Arthur.
No.
The lawyer?
Your lawyer. Now, from now on, we are a team. You do what I tell you to do. You say what I tell you to say. Before you know it, you're going to have the best parents in the world. What do you say, kid?
Sure you can squeeze me in?
What?
Ugh.
The ambulance chasing thing. That's nothing. I just use it to beat the traffic.
So they decide to make it official and put it in motion that North is going to divorce himself from his parents and go around the world and find new ones. And the revelation of this is enough to make the poor Seinfeld duo catatonic and faint. And they're brought to court like that. And oh my god, this fucking judge.
Oh my god, yes.
Just every character in this movie is so annoying in their own ways. So the judge sets it that North has to find new parents by Labor Day or return to his old ones. And if he does neither by 12 o'clock noon on Labor Day, then he's going to be sent to an orphanage. Which feels a little extreme, but North goes to meet the first set of parents, where the mom was played by Reba for reasons that
will be obvious.
That'll be obvious in a minute. So he goes to this ranch in Texas, and this is where we start seeing that every single one of these parents is so stereotypical. And you just gotta sit back and remind yourself that Rob Reiner was the quintessential activist who did so much for, in particular, LGBT rights. You wouldn't guess it from this movie.
Nope. And I had joked that this movie feels like a movie that Ben Shapiro would write. And then you didn't know this. And you were like, wait, what the fuck? When I said that, his cousin's Mara Wilson and she hates him.
I had no idea that they were related. Oh my god. Thanksgivings have to be insufferable there.
Well, I don't think they've talked for years, but just imagine, North feels like the movie that Ben Shapiro would write and say, this is the greatest kid movie of all time. It instills conservative values, blah, blah, blah. Let me make a terrible rap track versus the goated Matilda that's, subtly queer. So I'm just saying the parallels are there.
Oh, God. But anyway, so North goes to meet Reba and fucking Foghorn Leghorn. Just the epitome of as Texas as can be. And they're like
guns on the car doors.
Oh my god, the car handles are gold-plated guns. Yeah, there's guns in this kid's movie. Oh, there's plenty more where that came from. Don't you worry.
Oh, yes. If you love the Second Amendment, boy, you are gonna have fun in spades here.
More fun than we had anyway. So they're rich, they love oil. They give North the Houston Astros at one point.
Yeah. And you're like, hey, can you give them to me, please?
And they have a really bad musical number.
Oh, they came out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, but now we'd like to show you how much we're looking forward to having you as our new son.
This is not a kid's movie.
No. Oh god, it's a musical. Jesus Christ, no. I'm sorry. I was gonna say, why else have Reba? But oh god.
Just leave some for me.
Hey there!
I think... Is that you right now? Are you Elijah Wood? Is that boy you now? I hate this so much. I hate everything about this because it's my thing that I hate about not having musical numbers have a leave-in.
Another rib, son?
Which, as I've bitched about with Has Been, is one of my most hated things. I love musicals, but I hate when people just do out of nowhere and don't build to a musical number. I fucking hate that so goddamn much.
And the only reason that was even there was because Reba was there, and that was pretty much the only reason she was there.
Yeah.
The exact same logic to why Lady Gaga was in that god-awful Joker movie. It's pretty much why Reba is in this movie. So then they were like, well, North, we're going to fatten you up so you could be the biggest. Now, our old son died because he got trampled in a stampede.
The crazy thing about that is, I was like, oh my god, are they going to do a fat joke? I was mentally preparing myself for that. And they were like, oh, no, he's just straight up dead. So honestly, I'm kind of debating what's worse, actually.
Well, no, then they did kind of make a fat joke when they were like, oh yeah, it was a big loss.
Oh, fuck, I didn't even catch that the first time. God damn it. I guess I was just in a state of shock that I didn't even process that. Holy shit.
Yeah, no. This movie's bad. Really bad.
It is so unbelievably fucking bad, guys.
Trust us, it gets worse.
Oh yeah, it's the ride that never ends.
So while North is out with frickin' Foghorn Leghorn out on a horse, they meet the ranch hand, Bruce Willis #2. And in case you're thinking that this is just Bruce Willis playing the same character, just appearing everywhere like a guardian angel or something, no, that's not it. None of them recognize him. It's just Bruce Willis over and over and over again. And you're gonna immediately realize that is this movie's gag. That Bruce Willis just shows up randomly playing a different character. So North decides to leave, go see the next set of parents, but Bruce Willis gives him a coin that he shoots a hole through, gives it to him
Which
for
I guess is supposed to be cool, I guess.
So he keeps it as a good luck charm, and while North is on his own little adventure, his little shit-eating friend and the lawyer have apparently started the Bolshevik Revolution because in the midst of all this, they use North emancipation from his parents to start an uprising where now all the kids are in control while the parents are subservient to them. It's really fucking weird.
How much longer do we have to put up with this indignity? Yeah! How much longer must we tolerate these injustices? This subservience? Yeah! It's humiliating, my friends. It's demeaning. Right on! Now is the time to say no! Now is the time to say, just because you were born 25 or 30 years before me doesn't make you smart. It doesn't make you right. It just makes you old.
Well, thanks, you little shit. I wonder if there's going to be a kitty assassination attempt.
This feels like the kind of movie that would try that.
And now, the man whose brilliant legal mind shown the light on the pathway to freedom, Mr. Arthur Ulysses Belt, Esquire.
Also, I'm just so uncomfortable with all these adults hanging out with these elementary school children.
I am but a humble servant, standing at your ready to assist in this noble cause. Viva el Norte! Viva el Norte! Viva el Norte!
Oh, and I didn't realize this until the credits.
Oh, yes.
But, the evil kid's assistant is a young Jussie Smollett, which when I saw his name in the credits, I was like, wait, what? That was him?
Yeah, because I had looked at the Wikipedia thing, to prep, going out, because I don't look at the plot summaries or any of it, but just, the extenuating stuff. I was like, oh, yeah, no, that's him.
As if this movie didn't have enough wrong with it. So, while they're in the midst of starting an uprising, North travels to Hawaii, where the governor of Hawaii and his wife, well, oh god.
Yeah, all this, I'm like, oh, this is kind of offensive, but it never goes, full, maybe the other one, that we'll get to later, but it never goes, full tilt, but, it's oh god, this movie is so fucking white.
Yeah. So, North comes to realize that these two basically want him to be an advertising tool to bring people to Hawaii because I didn't realize that Hawaii's statehood was so recent.
Yeah, no, Hawaii's about as old as my mom.
Because they were like, well, North, people still don't really acknowledge Hawaii really as a state, but hey, if you come here, then people will like us. Which, make of that what you will. The native islanders saying that they needed the white boy to bring people in.
Yeah, definitely a choice.
And those old sunscreen?
Yeah, the copper tone.
The copper tone that had the girl who had her bathing suit being pulled off by a dog. Well, they make a billboard of that for North where you could just see his ass, and it results in Elijah Wood saying the word saying the word crack 50 times. I think he says crack more times than an average episode of Breaking Bad.
What is that?
Son, that'll be in every airport, along every highway.
My crack? My crack is going to be shown at every airport?
Now, son.
What gives you the right to show my crack in every highway?
No, he's like, I don't want people looking at my crack. My crack. Which, by the way, I think you could tell that Elijah Wood's going for puberty at this point, because he has this little, not a full voice change, but you could clearly hear his voice cracking. It's actually kind of incredible. But here's the difference between the Coppertone ads. That little girl's supposed to be 2 or 3. So oh, it's supposed to be cute. This is just fucking creepy.
Oh yeah, no. And they were like, oh, North, it's gonna be on every airport, every road. It's gonna be everywhere. And the North is like, nope, I'm done.
He's like, I don't want my crack everywhere. I have no idea how we're even gonna break this down. This is really bad. This might be one of the worst ones we've watched. Oh no! No!
Pause. No, not on that, not on that,
okay.
not on that.
Okay, we're good.
Okay. Oh, no, it's still bad. It's still bad.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh.
Fuck.
Oh. My god. Rob, you made Stand By Me. You made The Princess Bride. What happened here?
I don't know how Roger Ebert didn't have a coronary. I think we really underestimated how bad this movie was. I think we made a mistake.
I think when Roger Ebert says that something is bad, it's vital to listen to him.
Rip Roger.
I mean, I know we tend to say, like, you shouldn't base your entire opinion on what critics say, but, I think Roger hit the nail on the head here. If anything, he might have undersold it.
Yeah, no, he undersold it. Holy shit. Oh my god. Hold on. I need more carbs. This is... Oh my god. Oh my god. Chocolate, please save me. Shall we continue with this insanity? 35 minutes. God!
Remember when we said at the beginning, oh, thank God, it's only 90 minutes? It's felt so much longer than that.
I know, but we have to continue. Otherwise, we're going to be here till 3 a.m. So, let's go.
So, after a beach encounter with Bruce Willis number 3, who's like a beachcomber, I guess, he decides to fly off to, God, where does he go now? Oh yeah, Alaska. And the joke they try to make here is that he lands in Juneau, but it ends in Anchorage. And then when the plane finally stops, it just goes a little ding. It's like, these are the beginnings of jokes that the movie tries to make, and they just go freaking nowhere.
Yeah.
Next up in the racially offensive pipeline, we have Kathy Bates playing an Eskimo.
Oh, God. Which, I didn't even register that at first. And also, like, one thing I noticed in the score, like, several times, there was, like, weird, like, holiday songs or, like, motifs of them in some moments. Like, I think they played, like, what? Winter Wonderland here?
I didn't even register that beyond the fact that apparently, according to this movie, all Alaskans live in igloos and like fish for salmon out of their houses.
Like, I get for reasons that will make sense later when we get to the ending, which, oh boy, we'll get to that. It makes sense from the perspective of a kid, but still, it's like, woof.
Yeah. So he meets Kathy Bates and her husband and the grandfather. And apparently in this dystopian universe, the tradition is when people get old enough, they put them on ice floes and just send them out into the freezing ocean to, I guess, just die. So they walk for like several weeks to send the old man out on an ice floe.
Did we mention how charming this movie is?
Oh yeah, real whimsical. So North decides this ain't for him, and he gets taken back to the airport by Bruce Willis number 4, who's like managing sleigh dogs. And Bruce Willis informs him, hey, that took 7 weeks out of the 8 weeks. You better hurry. So now we start speed running. Like, let's go do offensive Chinese stereotypes. And then offensive African stereotypes, which by
the way, you just stood in stunned silence. And again, we questioned whether or not this movie was for kids. And like, this isn't us being prudes, but we're just kind of like legitimately asking. So Elijah Wood makes a joke saying, oh, gee golly gosh, I can't stay here. I'll be so distracted. And the illusion is, in like some indigenous tribes, the women don't wear bras and they have their breasts visibly exposed, which Yeah, I mean, I don't care. I mean, every culture's different. I'm not personally bothered by that. But it's weird in the sense that this is potentially his mother. So, like, what the actual fuck?
Oh yeah, he's just staring at this woman's boobs. And he was like, well, golly gee willikers, I'm sure it'd be nice to stay here, but I wouldn't be able to get my homework done because I'd be too distracted.
And it's just, I hate this movie.
It's so bad. It's so bad. And also we have that little scene with the Amish where he comes in and they're like, well, this is my wife. These are my 3 sons, all named Elijah. These are my 3 sons, all named Ezekiel. And then North is like, okay, cool. I'm going to get my butter churner. He runs inside and he's like, floor it. And they just fly off.
And that was the only time I laughed. And, but also it's kind of offensive. But maybe that's just because I'm used to interacting in the same space as Amish people. Which, by the way, they still use, like, public transportation and go to work in the cities.
Oh, yeah, and I think they do use cell phones, like, for work.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, the whole thing, that they don't use that stuff. I'm like, no, they just, at home, they don't. And also, like, even in their buggies, I think a lot of them do use electric turn signals now.
So, yeah, in the midst of all this, evil child and lawyer dude realize that, oh god. So they've put North's parents in a museum because they're still catatonic. And this is where we get the Oscar-winning Ben Stein performance. And they're like, well, what's going to happen if North's parents wake up and, like, make an emotional video trying to bring him home? Which eventually is what happens. North's parents wake up. Evil child gets them to make a video, but then manipulates and edits it. This comes up in a little bit. So we go. Is this where he goes to New York?
Yeah. Well, the parents are in New York because I think that's where they were. Because I was kind of confused. I'm like, the kid's obviously in New York, but I wasn't sure if they cut back to him being in, like, Chicago. If the editing gets, like, a little weird towards the end.
And again, there's reasons for it, but we'll get to that. So North goes to New York to meet the final set of parents, and this is where we get our look at 9-year-old Scarlett Johansson. And you know it's her, because apparently in 30 years, she has kept the same exact face.
Which, we were, like, laughing. Because I think I looked at a screenshot, but then I saw, like, the blonde hair. Like, she has the same eyebrows, the same cheekbones. Like, it is insane. You described it as, she just looks like she shrunk.
Like, you would think over the course of, like, 30 years that there would be, like, some change. No. You could tell right off the bat that it's her. So the family that North has here is, like, so, like, idealistic. They have everything that he's looking for, but for some reason he's still not satisfied. And then he gets the video, which of course has been, like, edited and manipulated to make it seem like his parents don't want him around. Decides that he's gonna stay with, like, the perfect family, but then 5 seconds later decides, you know what, I'm just not feeling it. So, like, that was a problem for, like, 5 minutes. And he takes a train over to New York, main New York City, where evil child is now, and he gets his lackey to track down North, and this is where shit gets really fucked up, because evil child is like, well, if North just goes back to his parents, then it'll undo, like, our revolution that we've started, and we can't have that, so he'll better serve us as a martyr. Yes. In this PG-rated kids movie, they decided they're gonna shoot North.
And you know what the worst thing is that I had kind of, like, semi-choked, but also was kind of making a prediction. Because there's a different part of the movie where the asshole little kid makes, like, this, like, almost civil rights era speech, and I'm like, are we gonna have, like, a kitty assassination? So I kind of said that, like, half jokingly, but also half not. But then it actually fucking happens.
Again, supposed kids movie doing this. And, like, nobody stops to say, well, this might be kind of fucked up. No, they're like, yeah, let's do it. Let's shoot him. So North walks into Central Park, the henchman with a fucking pistol, no, fucking revolver almost, I don't even know.
He has a gun!
Yeah, for his neutral special, he has a gun. So he runs around New York chasing after North, shooting him, which, by the way, North goes to a very seedy district at one point, and it's like, where is this child's supervision?
Yeah, like, I'm pretty sure the implication is this is before Rudy Giuliani ruined Times Square, and they got rid of all, like, the porn theaters.
So he's walking by, like, some pretty seedy bars. Some ladies of the night, all the while being chased around and shot at. So at one point, he jumps into a truck filled with borscht, and the henchman dude shoots at it. North drops his cap, and it gets covered in borscht, and so the guy thinks that it was blood. Thinks that he finally did him in, and he ends up at a comedy show with Bruce Willis, number 5 at this point, I think, who was like a stand-up comedian for like the Smoke Detector Club.
Yeah, for like the Smoke Detector Association, mind you, while everyone's smoking, because again, this is the 90s, we haven't banned smoking from restaurants yet.
And also apparently it's called NASA, which is apparently it stands for like North American Smoke Association. I don't know. I don't know.
It doesn't really fucking matter. It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, none of it's funny. None of it is funny at all. So North is like, meets up with him and he's like, gosh, like, these people were great, but like, they're not my parents. I miss my parents. And Bruce Willis is like, well, fucking go to them then. Well, oh wait, no. Before this, North goes to like a bridge area and he meets young Jussie Smollett. They do a few more like unfunny jokes and he gives him like the unedited videotape. So while North is walking around and then meets Bruce Willis, number 5, he takes him to the airport.
But there's a twist. They can't take him.
Because apparently, according to the newspaper, he's dead. And North's like, well, obviously I'm not. The lady's like, how do I know? And then a bunch of kids start chasing North because they realize that if he's not dead and he just goes back to his parents, then it'll undo everything. So they go chasing him around. He jumps into a FedEx truck driven by Bruce Willis, number 6. And again, going back to the worst parts of the other bad movies we've seen, it harkens back to War of the Worlds 2025, only instead of Amazon Prime saving the day, it's FedEx. So evil child realizes that North isn't dead. He has
He has his Eddie Redmayne, I create life, but I destroy it moments.
He like screams at the top of his lungs to go shoot North. North gets shipped by FedEx on Memorial Day, which
I think it's Labor Day. You know what? It doesn't fucking matter.
Or Labor Day, I don't even fucking know. Which would FedEx?
Who cares?
Would FedEx even be working on Labor Day? Probably not. Not shocked this movie would get that wrong. So he goes to his house. His parents aren't there. Evil child is, and he's like, well, North, you just need to go to your favorite spot.
So he's got to go to the mall because this is the 90s.
And then Elijah Wood calls him, like, says he's like, where the hell are my parents, you little asshole? Which, again, he's like 12 years old. Again, kids movie, alleged. So Team Seinfeld is waiting at the mall with the annoying judge. The judge presents like the clock that he brought from his house that says like 6 minutes left. North makes it there like just in time. But right as he leaps into his parents' arms, like henchman dude is waiting there and he takes the gun and he fires it. And as it all happens, you want to know the final fuck you moment this movie presents? You want to know? You want to know what this movie's resolution is?
Tell us.
And then he wakes up.
And I just went, fuck you. Like, I think I actually got out of my chair and just went, I'm fucking done. Like, I'm just like, and I yelled, are you fucking kidding me? Because I'm like, no. Oh, no. Fuck you. Like, I did not just spend, like, the last 80-something odd minutes supposedly being emotionally invested into this child's plight for you to fucking pull the Saint Elsewhere fucking ending. Fuck you.
I want to punch this guy so bad.
No!
Oh god, not the fucking slow-mo. Holy
the
shit.
fuck, dude? What?
What? Oh my god, are they doing this was all a dream thing?
You still here?
Are you fucking kidding me?
Are you fucking serious?
Come on. I'll give you a ride home.
And then you were a beach bum, and then you drove a sleigh, and then you were a comedian who said that my parents were the best parents for me.
Are you fucking serious right now?
I must be a pretty smart guy.
They're really Oh, but now they're going, well, maybe it wasn't a dream.
Oh, nothing. Just something I've always had.
Well, I mean, it explains the, like, fucking world building, but still, are you fucking kidding me? I mean, that explains, like, all the little things in his room, and that's why he had those specific dreams, but...
Be it ever so humble, there's no place like home.
Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my god.
When Sinatra's in town. Bye.
Oh my fucking god. I hate this.
You're telling me he just dreamed, like, 8 weeks of this. But how did he dream all the shit that was going on when he wasn't there?
We love you so much, North.
I legitimately fucking hate this. Like, yeah, I'm actually fucking done.
I don't know what we do.
We're gonna go over all the reasons why this makes no fucking sense, right?
Yes, of course.
You hungry, honey? A little bit.
A little bit? A little bit.
Okay, a lot.
Okay.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
There are so many reasons why this doesn't make sense. You're telling me, so from the point that he meets Bruce Willis, number 1, the Easter Bunny, he apparently falls asleep. This had to have been only like, what, 2-4 hours max?
Yeah.
Yet, he manages to imagine 8 weeks.
Yeah, basically his entire summer vacation.
He dreamed 8 weeks. And also, he was dreaming of stuff that didn't even involve him. He dreamed everywhere that he went. The entire, like, evil scheme, the revolution shit. He imagined all of that in the span of just a couple of hours at most.
I'm like, damn, I wish my dreams were that involved. I would get the best night's sleep ever. Like, holy crap.
So Bruce Willis, number 1, walks over and he's like, kid, what are you still doing here? So he drives him home, but then they have this small little caveat of, well, maybe it wasn't a dream because North still has the coin. And then North is like, well, I guess it's something I've always had. And then he goes home and his parents were super worried about him and they just go inside and that's the movie. They actually went with the fucking it was all a dream ending. Good fucking Lord.
I mean, it makes sense from the perspective that, oh, it's supposed to be a fable, but it's just, it's the ultimate middle finger to say, like, hey, like, all this time you spent, it meant fucking nothing. Because here's the thing, and this is where I kind of get into the writing of it. Like we kind of said earlier, really this whole film stems from his parents were having a conversation over wine at dinner, and he wasn't the center of attention, and he basically had, like, a bull fit, and this drives this whole story for, like, 90 minutes. Like, why do we even feel anything at the end? Because, like, the whole, like, premise to, like, get there was so flimsy to begin with.
It's just, it feels like the ultimate cop-out. Because we get to that conclusion of he runs into his parents' arms with, like, 1 second left, but oh, here's the guy with the gun. And instead of coming up with an actual resolution of that, we just say, nope, none of it was real.
And it's not charming in, like, a Wizard of Oz way, which, by the way, for those who don't know, in the original Wizard of Oz books, Oz is, like, an actual place allegedly somewhere in Oceania, but the reason why most people can't get to it is because it's surrounded by an endless desert, so it's like its own supercontinent that's basically nearly impossible to get to. But anyway, for the famous MGM, now owned by WB adaptation, they give you enough hints early on that it's a dream by introducing like the real life people that represent like the lion, the Tin Man, the wizard, that you can go, oh, okay. And the fact that most of the scenes Dorothy is directly involved in, that it's not totally like out of a logical, conclusion to be like, oh, she just hit her head really hard and had a dream. There's nothing here that would even indicate that this was a dream.
No, not at all. The one tiny little speck that you get is the fact that Bruce Willis just shows up everywhere. But even then, it's mostly just treated as like, oh, haha, that's this movie's gag.
Yeah, like you would never connect that was meant to like clue you in.
And also, how did nobody wake North up for like all those hours that he was asleep in the mall? Like, how is it that the mall apparently shut down completely where the only person left was Bruce Willis #1? How did nobody just nudge him awake?
Like, I know it's the 90s and we don't helicopter parent yet, but Jesus, like, hey, there's like this elementary middle school kid here. Where the hell are his parents?
It, again, just feels like the ultimate cop-out move. Where it was like they could have just gone with the schmaltzy ending of he makes it to his parents at the last second. But no, instead of resolving that plot line or resolving the stupid plot line with evil child and having any consequences for what him or the lawyer dude did, or like the fact that this guy is trying to assassinate him, like, none of that is resolved because apparently none of it actually happened.
It's just, it honestly, like, the movie's already bad, but doing that honestly makes it, like, irredeemable. I know a lot of kid movies aren't high art, but I would rather watch, like, a kid movie directed by Sean Levy, who, for those who don't know, he directed Big Fat Liar. He would later go on to direct some more recent fare, like he's a producer and has directed several episodes of Stranger Things, and most recently, the Deadpool and Wolverine movie. But the point I'm making is that if you're a kid's movie, like, just lean into, like, if you're just gonna go with this absurdist, like, over-the-top, whimsical thing, why are you just gonna undo all that? Because to me, that shows that you're not committed to your premise.
Nope. And, like, they try to use that as the excuse for why everything is all so weird and, like, why Bruce Willis is everywhere and, like, why all these things don't really make sense. And it just feels like the ultimate cop-out.
It is. It really is. Like, what if, like, who cares if everything doesn't make 1,000%? Like, if this is, like, a kid's movie from the perspective of a child, it'd be like, okay, like, that's just how that world functions. Whatever. C'est la vie. But the fact that, it's like, oh, we're just gonna be insufferable and be like, oh, no, just kidding, sorry. Like, honestly, that annoys me more than anything else.
It just makes no freaking sense, no matter how you put it. And then they put in just that extra little thing at the end where he has the coin to maybe try to say, oh, maybe it wasn't a dream. Ooh. But, like, basically, everything that actually happens in this movie can be boiled down to a kid wasn't the center of attention for 2 minutes, throws a hissy fit, goes to the mall, falls asleep for a couple of hours, wakes up and goes home. That's all that really happens in this movie. Everything else, the course of like an entire summer that he just dreamed of in a couple of hours, didn't mean shit.
And it's, trying so hard to call back to Wizard of Oz. It's trying to do there's no place like home bit, but it's like, the premise to get there was like so flimsy to begin with. It's like, why do I fucking care?
Because again, like, the whole start to this was he felt unappreciated by his parents. They didn't pay attention to you for like 2 minutes while they were having a conversation at the table. Like, if they had showed something like, oh, he was at his baseball game, or like, his play and his parents weren't there, or like show that they were always working and weren't paying attention to him. Do the Fairly Odd Parents thing. Like, that would have made a little more sense. It still would have been an absurd premise, but it would have made a little more sense why he was feeling underappreciated. Here, his parents bickered for a little bit and he had a heart attack. That's what it boiled down to. And then again, just deciding to do the stupid thing and just undo all of it with a snap of the fingers at the end.
But yeah, can we just say this movie is really fucking bad?
It's unbelievably bad. The writing, atrocious. The humor and jokes, non-existent. The story itself, flimsy and mean-spirited. But the thing that puts it over the top is the fact that at the end, they just make it all pointless. I just cannot believe that people who have made some of the most iconic, brilliant works would come together and make something this joyless and pointless.
It has every single 90s kid movie cliche, and it's done in, like, the worst way.
This was bad. Like, this was unfathomably bad. Roger Ebert undersold it, I think, of how bad it was.
Oh, no, he did. Like, he should say, hey, you know the opening of Apocalypse Now? You're gonna feel like this the entire movie.
It's like, I did not laugh at a single joke. Every character was just one note and annoying. Story sucked, whatever story there actually was. And like it didn't even feel like a kid's movie. This feels like a 40-year-old man communicating through an assortment of children and racial stereotypes. Just unbelievably god awful. Rob, we know you did better. We know you did better before and you did better after. How did this even come about? It's like, I am shocked this wasn't a career killer for anybody. It's like, we are so fortunate that, Elijah Wood would grow up to do some pretty good work, I would think. Or that even Scarlett Johansson, for her little bit part, she would grow up to do some pretty good work. Jussie Smollett happened. But it's like, how is it that we had, I think I put it best when I said it like this. This is probably the worst movie ever made that was made by talented people.
Yeah, no, I hard agree.
You would think it had everything going for it. You had talent in the director's chair, in the writing room, the actors. You had everything possible in your favor. And somehow it just all went wrong. Everything was just as bad as it could have been. Like, Return to Zombie Island and the Mermaid documentary, those made me mad on a personal level. But even then, this had no merit, nothing good going for it. The only good things about it was that the people behind it made better things either before or later on. Nothing else. This was shocking. I can understand how Roger Ebert and the critics of the day would have been stunned at how inept this was. Because when you're Rob Reiner and you had 7 iconic movies leading into this, you just wonder how.
Yeah, you have to wonder how and why it all went wrong. Like, anyone, just went at any point in the process saying, hey, I don't know, guys. This kind of feels off. Like, that part, blows my mind. That you have to think, how many hands a movie passes through. That no one questioned anything that was happening.
You had 2 writers on this. You had an experienced director. You had all these experienced, iconic performers.
Legit, you had, the dream team.
And somehow, it just all went wrong. I could make the easy joke and say north, more like south. But, that's what this was. I just don't know how somebody who made the mockumentary and the rom-com, somebody who made genuinely funny movies, and some of the best movies ever made. I just don't know how it happened.
And you know what? Maybe there is a deeper story. Maybe there isn't. Maybe the story is just kind of lost to like memory and time. But I feel like the important lesson to come away from this is all of us are capable of making great art, but sometimes not every idea we have is a good idea. And sometimes when we don't get enough no's or someone that says, hey, I'm not sure if this is checking out, you get like a George Lucas situation or like countless other creators that, just want the creativeness control because they believe in their vision so hard that they just can't see the forest through the trees. But I feel like that makes you appreciate an artist better because if they just produce nothing but bangers, then it's like, wow, I can't obtain that. I'll never make anything that's good or great. This is like such an unobtainable level. Like, why should I try? But seeing someone who arguably is one of the greatest of all times, has made success in multiple fronts of entertainment, just completely and utterly miss the mark, it makes those artists human. And then you realize to yourself, hey, you know what? Maybe every idea I'd have is going to work out. But maybe some of my ideas will work out. And I think at the end of the day, I feel like that's the positive outlook I want to have with this movie.
All I'll say is, Rob, you were a wonderful actor, a master director. You made some of the best films, period. You will be deeply missed. You were a wonderful human being who did so many wonderful things for so many people. You will not be defined by this. You will be defined by how you reshaped countless genres, how you brought about so many wonderful works, and how you ultimately made the world a better place for so many other people. Your loss is enormous, and I am glad that your legacy is not just this.
And you know what? I think the best thing to do would be to lead this episode out with Rob speaking about North himself.
I hated this movie. Hated this movie. Hated it. Hated every simpering, stupid, vacant, audience-insulting moment of it. Hated the sensibility that thought anyone would like it. Hated the implied insult to the audience by its belief that anyone would be entertained by it.
Rest easy, Rob and Michelle. Your contributions are immeasurable. And I feel like this is a good note to end on. So, Gio, where can everyone find you?
Well, if you want to see me talk about art and VTubers and all the cool shit that I've had coming in lately, then you can find me at evking13.bsky.social if you so choose.
And you can, of course, find me on Blue Sky at crazylemur.bsky.social. I am also on Instagram at Lemur's Rule 1, where I post pics of my cooking, pics of my dog, and just my more, I guess, normalness. But thank you so much again for listening to this episode of Lay Crap. We'll see y'all next time.
Well, you don't know. I mean, you just write, you just work on stuff, and you never know what the public is going to attach themselves to and what's going to stick. You just go ahead with your life.